Hello and welcome. My name is Marta, and today I am going to be making some whimsical Halloween decorations. I got really lucky and I thrifted these pumpkins, I guess at the Goodwill. I think for all four, I got them for just about $15, which is amazing. And a couple of these are like little jack-o'-lanterns. Now, it's kind of cute. I like how they're painted, but I wasn't crazy about it. I'm going to paint it sort of similar, but anyway, you'll see. I'm just going to do a black and white stripe, kind of Tim Burton-y, which he's like my ultimate favorite. And to start with, I'm going to be mixing these two Waverly chalk paints in Snow White and Plaster together for the white. And then I'll use the Waverly chalk paint and ink for the black stripes. I'm just going to take a big brush and just give it a good coat. Now these pumpkins already were textured. They have like a sandy texture to them, which is great because I was going to add that texture anyway, so I didn't have to do that. I got, like I said, really lucky. Now after I give these guys a good thick coat, I am going to be painting another guy that I didn't show at first. He was terracotta, then I painted him green and I didn't like it. And I feel like he has kind of a ghost face, so I decided to paint him white as well. I'm going to give him a couple of good coats. The other ones I just gave one good thick coat, but this guy, I guess since it was terracotta, it was a little, I just had to thicken the paint up and do two coats for it. After this guy, I have another jack-o'-lantern that I thrifted. This one was, it was ceramic and it was orange and it was cute, but in the end, I wanted to do a thing that's been kind of popular where you paint it black and then you add white wax to it and it looks pretty cool. And you'll see how it turns out. But anyway, I give it two good coats of the black ink paint. And now I am going to be adding my black ink chalk paint and do my little stripes here. And I just carefully go freehand it all the way down and alternate the black and white stripes. I do this process for the 4 pumpkins that came together. And this is how they turned out. I thought they turned out pretty cute. Now I am going to get ready to be adding the wax to seal the chalk paint for these little guys. I use clear wax, DIY clear wax for all the pumpkins except for the black one. The black one I'm going to be using the DIY line white wax, and I'm using a very soft chippy bristle brush. Say that 5 times real fast. Anyway, here we go. I'm just giving them a nice little coat and I'll let them dry. So now I'm ready to add the white wax to the black jack-o'-lantern. And I'll be pretty much doing the same thing I did with the other ones, except this time I'm going to be wiping it back some so it's not so prominent. And then I will take a smaller chippy brush and I'm going to just add more white wax to the ridges just to accentuate those ridges a little more and wipe it back. Now I didn't do anything to the stems because I actually really liked the color. So I feel like they don't really match because they're very shiny. You can't really tell on the camera. They're that ceramic sheen to them, the glaze. So now I'm going to be adding the Rust-Oleum chalked top coat, matte top coat to each of them, just so that it tones down that shininess and it matches better. Next, I'm going to be using the Rub and Buff in Autumn Gold, and I'm going to rub that on the black pumpkin for the little stem. And I thought it looked really nice, very simple, and it was perfect, in my eyes anyway. So now we're ready for project number 2. I got really lucky this September thrifting. I found these guys and they were half off of this price. They were from Home Goods and I just saw them and snatched them up. They are white, like bone white, no glaze at all. I really like them white. They're cool, but I really wanted to do something different with them. I want these little guys to look like cement statues. So I'm going to be using this product called Saltwash. It's like a powder you mix in with a paint and it gives it consistency, kind of like a grainy, sandy consistency. I'm going to mix 2 paints together, DIY in Vintage Linen and DIY in Apothecary. And then I'll be adding that salt wash to it with a little water. So here I am just taking the stickers out. And if you apply a little heat on the stickers, they just come right off without leaving all that residue. And the best thing to dust anything small is a chippy brush. It works wonders. So here I am going to get ready to mix. Now, I don't really follow the directions. I kind of just eyeball everything and I just go by consistency, really. I don't want it too thick and I don't want it too watery. But if you, also people do this same method using, I believe, either baking powder or baking soda. I can't remember which. You might be able to look that up on the internet if you don't want to buy the salt wash. This salt wash came with a couple of things, which is a cute little package. It was a little expensive. I think if I had known at the time that you could do it with baking soda or baking powder, I would have totally gone that route. But since I already had the salt wash, I decided to go ahead and do it. Now, you know how there's always holes on the bottom of these ceramic figurines? I just shoved 2 paintbrushes in there. It helped not get my hands dirty. Now, there was another popular trend going on where you get one of these little owl figurines and you make a little witchy hat and add it to the top. Here's a little picture of an idea of it. And I'm going to be doing something similar. So my owls are all painted and dry, and now I'm going to be applying white wax, DIY wax, and black DIY wax to them. I'm taking extra soft brushes, and actually one of those little like face towel things I feel is what works best to wipe it up. So first step is the white wax. I'm just going to give both of them a good coat. Then I'm going to wipe it back, and then I'm going to apply the black wax. And the black wax is really just to let it pop the little details, which there aren't many details in this, but I kind of like them like that. They're very simple owls. I think they're perfect to make them look like statues. So as I wipe back the black wax, I wanted to highlight a couple areas of the birds. So I just went back with some white wax where I wanted to highlight and then wiped it back as well. So now to make their hats, I am using just some cardboard from old packaging, Reynolds wrap, and sheet moss. And now I'm just trying to figure out the rims of the hats. I just found two things that were wide enough for them, and now I'm just going to cut out the cardboard, stick a hole in the middle with my pencil. And this is an example of what I want to do. They are little witch hat topiaries. They are from a company called Black Dog Creations, I believe. I'll have it linked in the bottom. You can see it. They're all over Pinterest, and they are very popular. A lot of people have been remaking them as well. And I figured I am going to marry the two trends that were going on. The little witch hat on the owl figurines, but this time I'm going to make them a topiary since they look like garden statues. And I thought that it would look pretty good. Anyway, so I am just shaping some foil and making it as thick as I want. And then I press it down to make it a little flat, and then I'll take some hot glue and glue the top to the bottom of the hat. Now I'm going to take this sheet moss and I'm going to cover the hat with the moss. I just cut over a corner, kind of eyeball how long it should be. I'm taking off the backing, and it's supposed to be sticky, but it's not that sticky, so it's best to use the hot glue with it. And there are going to be some spots where you kind of see this tin foil through, and what I do is just take little bits of moss that have fallen off of the sheet, and I just glue it on those little areas to hide it, and it worked perfect. You can't even tell. So I'm just gluing it along and cutting along as I need. And once I get the top done, it's time to do the bottom, and I will take the same item I used to trace the bottom of the circle. I'll trace that out on the moss, but then I'm going to give it like a good extra inch to make it a little wider so I can make tabs to fold over. You'll see what I'm going to do real quick. So after hot gluing the bottom to the circle, I'm just going to cut it back to size a bit. And now I'm just going to snip some tabs. And I quickly learned that these tabs need to be angled inward. So I cut a little bit of extra bits of the tabs to make it, I don't even know how to explain it. Visually you'll see it because I'm going to give you a close-up of it. See how I cut them inward? So that when you fold them over, they fold over perfectly. There's like no seam. And that's what I was going for. Because if you don't do that, they're going to overlap and it's going to look chunky. You could do it if you want it to look chunky. I'm like a crazy perfectionist. So now I am going to take some green twine that I got at Home Depot years ago, and I am going to, I'm sorry, that camera angle, I didn't get it right. But anyway, I twirl it up, I twine it twirling upwards, and then I crisscross it back down, and then just give it a couple of turns at the base and some glue to hold it down. And then I just hot glue it to the head. And I do the same exact procedure to the little guy, and I will use the same twine to dress it up a little bit. I'm almost done here, and soon you'll see the reveal. And I just wanted to take some time and thank everyone that's liked my videos and given me comments. It's so wonderful to hear everything and to know that you guys are appreciating my art. It's giving me the motivation to keep going. Thank you so much for all your love and likes, and thank you for subscribing. I just feel so blessed.